The next detail we need to add is the arms. So you're going to get a little bit more of your flesh colored gum paste and just roll it into a sausage. And just keep rolling until you've got it thin enough. You don't want her to look too muscular in the arms, so we want to make thin, dainty little arms. We're going to measure for length because we need to cut some of that length off of there. And if you need to, you can make a little crease there so that that bends nicely. And then we're going to do a hand. Some people don't even like to add the details of the hands, and that's okay. You don't have to. You can just flatten it a little bit and have the suggestion or idea of a hand. It doesn't have to be detailed. Or you can add the details by cutting a thumb. And then adding fingers. And if you add the fingers, be prepared to fiddle with them a bit in order to get them nice and pretty and rounded at the edges. And this is when it's handy to have little tiny tools where you can get in between, and then you can take and stretch them each a little bit if you need to lengthen them. And then we want the wrist to dip in a tiny bit, just for natural shape. And obviously if you have well-groomed nails, you can use your nails for that, or you can use the handle of a paintbrush to kind of shape your wrists there. Then you want to flatten a bit up at the shoulder. And get ready to add that. Now I actually made these far too chunky for the size of our bride. And that's the nice thing, is if you have to, you can take and go a little bit thinner. And these are intentionally too long, but that's okay. And cut off a tiny bit at a time. When you've gone to all this trouble to make little arms and hands, you don't want to then end up cutting off too much and end up having to start again. There we go. So we're going to flatten a little bit up here at the top, and then a little bit of gum glue. And you may find, if you have trouble getting your finger into there, this is when your little tools come in handy. There we go. And then I'm going to put a little bit of gum glue on the underside of her wrist in order to stick it in place where I want it to be. One of the great things, if you find that the hands are very difficult for you, is you're going to put a little bouquet of flowers in the front of there anyway. So rather than putting it off to the side in one hand, you can center it if you're not happy with the way that your hands turned out. I frequently tell my students, good cake decorating is about learning your strengths and weaknesses, and then hiding the weaknesses. So there we go. Now she's got little arms.